Have you ever felt like a fraud, despite your accomplishments, and feared that others will eventually realize this? If so, you're experiencing a common psychological phenomenon known as imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome refers to an internal experience of believing that you're not as competent as others perceive you to be. This feeling persists despite evident success or accomplishments, often dismissed as luck, timing, or as a result of deceiving. Imposter syndrome is a deceptive and damaging mindset that can hinder personal and professional growth. It's a hidden hurdle that is not often discussed, but is more common than you might think. It affects individuals across different fields and from all walks of life, from students to professionals, novices to industry experts. While imposter syndrome isn't officially recognized in the field of psychology as a disorder, it's a very real and specific form of intellectual self-doubt. This self-doubt can lead to anxiety, stress, low self-confidence, and potentially depression. People who experience it often feel they don't deserve their achievements and worry that they will be exposed as a fraud. The first step to overcoming imposter syndrome is recognizing its signs. People with imposter syndrome often feel that their achievements are undeserved and worry that they'll be exposed as a fraud. They may attribute their success to luck or external factors, rather than their skills and effort. They constantly compare themselves to others and fall short. They also tend to downplay their achievements and dismiss praise or compliments. Additionally, those struggling with imposter syndrome often overwork themselves. They put in more hours and effort than necessary, driven by the fear of being exposed as a fraud. They also may avoid challenges because they worry that failure would reveal their perceived incompetence. They might also experience feelings of guilt about their success, especially if they come from a background where their peers have not had similar opportunities or accomplishments. Understanding these symptoms can be a powerful tool in combating imposter syndrome. The realization that these thoughts and feelings are common and that they're not a reflection of reality can be the first step in breaking free from the self-imposed constraints of imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome can stem from various sources. It might be rooted in family dynamics such as parental expectations and sibling rivalry. Sometimes, it might also be triggered by academic or work environments, especially when you're new or are in a minority. It can also be connected to personality traits like perfectionism or a tendency towards worry and self-doubt. Societal expectations and stereotypes about what success looks like can also contribute to imposter syndrome. Cultural standards around competence and achievement can create a high-pressure environment where people feel they have to be the best to be considered competent. This kind of pressure can feed into the development of imposter syndrome. It's crucial to understand that the thoughts and feelings associated with imposter syndrome are not a reflection of your true abilities. They are often a result of external influences and internalized unrealistic expectations. By understanding the roots of imposter syndrome, you can start to separate your true self from the imposter persona. That imposter syndrome and perfectionism are two sides of the same coin. The relentless pursuit of perfection, fear of making a mistake, or worry about how others perceive you can fuel feelings of being an imposter. This can create a vicious cycle. You fear making a mistake, so you overwork yourself to avoid perceived failure, but then the success you achieve from this overworking only increases your feelings of being a fraud. Perfectionism often stems from a desire to prove yourself. You might think that if you can just do everything perfectly, you can silence that nagging voice in your head telling you that you're not good enough. But in reality, this pursuit of perfection only feeds into the imposter syndrome because the standard you set for yourself is unrealistically high and impossible. Breaking this cycle involves understanding that perfection is an unattainable goal. Everyone makes mistakes, and that's a part of being human. It's okay not to know everything, and it's okay to ask for help. Recognizing that you don't need to be perfect to be successful or deserving of respect and appreciation can help lessen the grip of overcoming imposter syndrome requires a multifaceted approach. One effective strategy is cognitive restructuring, challenging and changing the thought patterns that fuel imposter syndrome. This involves noticing when you're having imposter thoughts, examining them critically, and replacing them with more realistic and helpful thoughts. Another important strategy is to openly discuss feelings of imposter syndrome. You can share your thoughts and experiences with trusted friends, mentors, colleagues, or a mental health professional. Opening up about your feelings can help to normalize them, reduce feelings of isolation, and provide a sense of relief. Moreover, by discussing imposter syndrome, you may discover that many people, even those who you perceive as building a strong support network, can also be invaluable in overcoming imposter syndrome. Surrounding yourself with supportive people who validate your experiences and skills can help to counteract imposter thoughts. Moreover, they can provide a more objective perspective on your achievements and abilities, which can help in challenging the distorted self-perception that comes with imposter syndrome. Finally, focusing on personal values rather than external markers of success can help to alleviate feelings of being an imposter. This involves shifting your attention from achieving and accomplishing to being and experiencing. It's about defining success in a way that aligns with your values, rather than societal or external standards. Self-compassion is a powerful antidote to imposter syndrome. Often, we are our own worst critics, and this harsh internal critic fuels imposter syndrome. By learning to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we'd offer a friend, we can start to silence this internal critic. Practicing self-compassion involves treating ourselves kindly when we fail or make mistakes, understanding that failure is a part of the human experience, and maintaining a balanced perspective in the face of failure or inadequacy. Instead of berating ourselves for our shortcomings, we can acknowledge them with kindness and without judgment. Moreover, self-compassion means recognizing that we are not alone in our experience. Everyone has felt like an imposter at some point in their lives. Understanding this can help to reduce feelings of isolation and difference that often accompany imposter syndrome. By practicing self-compassion, we can create a supportive internal environment that can help counter the damaging effects of imposter syndrome. It's about being a friend to yourself, especially when you're struggling with feelings of inadequacy or self-doubt. While individual efforts can go a long way in managing imposter syndrome, professional help can be beneficial, especially if your feelings of being an imposter are causing significant distress or interfering with your daily life. Psychologists or therapists can provide support and teach effective strategies to manage these feelings. Therapists who specialize in cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can be particularly helpful. CBT is a type of therapy that helps individuals recognize and change maladaptive thought patterns. It provides strategies to challenge and change the distorted self-perception that characterizes imposter syndrome. There's no shame in seeking professional help. Just as you would consult a doctor for a physical health issue, you can consult a mental health professional for mental health challenges. Seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. It shows that you're taking charge of your mental health and taking steps towards a healthier and happier you. Imposter syndrome doesn't have to be your downfall. In fact, it can become a strength if harnessed correctly. The self-doubt that comes with imposter syndrome can make you more humble, empathetic, and realistic. It can keep you grounded and prevent you from becoming complacent, as you're always striving to improve and grow. Moreover, feeling like an imposter can make you more attuned to the experiences and feelings of others. This can increase your capacity for empathy and understanding, which are essential qualities in leadership roles. It can also motivate you to seek feedback and be open to learning, both of which are invaluable for personal and professional development. By recognizing and managing imposter syndrome, you can turn it from a source of stress and self-doubt into a tool for growth. You can use it as a catalyst for self-improvement and self-discovery, helping you become more resilient and adaptable in the face of challenges.
Overcoming imposter syndrome is not about eliminating self-doubt entirely. Rather, it's about understanding that it's normal to feel like an imposter at times and learning not to let those feelings hold you back. It's about embracing the uncertainty and seeing it as an opportunity for growth and learning, rather than as proof of your inadequacy. Most importantly, overcoming imposter syndrome involves celebrating your accomplishments and giving yourself credit where it's due. Remember, you've worked hard to get where you are, and it's okay to be proud of that. You don't need to be perfect, and you don't need to know everything. You just need to be you, with all your strengths and weaknesses, achievements, and imposter syndrome can be a daunting experience, but remember that you're not alone. Many successful individuals have walked this path and have come out the other side stronger and more confident. By acknowledging your feelings, challenging your imposter thoughts, and practicing self-compassion, you can overcome imposter syndrome and fully embrace your authentic self. It's a journey, not a destination, and every step you take towards overcoming imposter syndrome is a step towards a more confident and authentic you.